My concerns for this coolant issue that I've been chasing down on my RX-7 is it's really starting to get to me here. Every time I think I fixed the issue and it runs great for, 5 to 6, 7 different drives from a hot to cold cycle and back, I think it's corrected, and then something else reminds me that it isn't. Recently, the coolant has been basically overpressurizing in the system and then overfilling the overfill reservoir. So I still have my factory AST. The car only has 20,000 miles on the engine, so it's got most, if not all, of the original parts, with the exception of a couple of things like an intercooler and maybe an intake. But the AST and all the coolant system is pretty much stock, and the coolant being overpressurized is something that kind of happens intermittently. And after chasing down a couple of things, I recently, in my previous video, I talked about replacing and I showed you replacing the thermostat, because it was definitely seeming like it was sticking shut and not opening properly. So I replaced that, and the car started running better, honestly. It was running cooler. The thermostat was opening earlier because it was a colder running thermostat. I also replaced the AST and the filler neck caps for the radiator. The AST cap is a pressure cap, and the filler neck cap, the rad cap, is not a pressure cap. So I replaced those, and when I did take off the caps that I had on previously and replace them with the OEM ones, there was a noticeable difference in fitment. Like the AST caps, I imported them from Japan, and they fit way, way better than the caps I had on there. Granted, I did have one of 2 OEM caps, and it just didn't fit as well. They were super, super snug with the new ones. So I, again, started running the car, driving it, and no leaks. The system did not overfill the reservoir. There were no leaks or puddles noticeable, at least, underneath of the car. I didn't have to top off the fluids for several drives. It was maybe 2 weeks I went without having any issues. Until immediately after this trip that I filmed going to this car wash. I took it home, I parked it, I went about my business, and then when I went to actually start it and warm it up to go to a car show, the coolant buzzer came on inside the car to alert me to add coolant. And that's not abnormal when you go through some coolant things and you top it off. Maybe it sucks it back into the system and, it just needs to self-correct. But the buzzer kept going and going and going. And when I came back out to the car to actually go to the car show, the factory coolant or water temp gauge was really, really climbing. So the car started to overheat. And luckily I was able to catch it before it did, so I shut it off. Obviously, the coolant system is not fixed. I'm starting to get a little bit worried that it's a coolant seal issue. I'm really hoping that it isn't. There are still a handful of things I have to test, but if you have any thoughts on the situation, let me know in the comments.